Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly. Today we're doing some World of Warcraft Legion stuff. If you're watching this Tuesday morning, then that means I'm currently live on Twitch right now, so you can check the link in the description box below. Go there, and we're going to be leveling to 110 on my Hunter. And we're going to be talking a little bit about pre-Legion stuff today, specifically about the Hunter. So if you're interested, definitely stick around on some of the things that I've been doing in World of Warcraft to prepare for Legion, and also discussing some of the Hunter changes as of 7.0. Alright guys, let's first talk about the Survival Spec. This has got to be one of the biggest changes to any class in the game so far, and for me, I've been a long-time hunter. This definitely brings you back to old school survival, but you were still a range spec back then, but you had some abilities that you would use with your one-handers or your two-handers, like Counter Strike, more emphasis on your Raptor Strike, your Wing Clips, your Mongoose Bite, and they have brought some of these abilities back, like Raptor Strike and Mongoose Bite, but they've also added Flanking Strike, which is an additional attack that both you and your pet attack at the same time. Lacerate, which is a typical bleed. And surprisingly, the Explosive Trap is one of your main core abilities, which for the longest time, the traps system has been a sort of a secondary utility system. Okay, I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of my talent choices. I won't go into detail on every single talent because some of them are very similar to that of what we've had before, but there are already lots of videos that go in depth on every single specific talent. So I'm just going to show you guys the ones that I'm kind of playing around with and why. Way of the Machnathal. Every single time you use a Raptor Strike, you increase your attack power by 3%. It stacks up to 12. Raptor Strike is going to be your focus dump whenever you have no other options. Snake Hunter, it increases or grants me an instant 3 charges for Mongoose Bite. That's important because Mongoose Bite stacks damage every single time that you use it. So as you can see here, we'll just use it 3 times, then we'll use it another 3 times, and it increases my damage up to 300% with Mongoose Bite, which is nice. And then you also get a chance of earning additional charges with Mongoose Bite, so you get to do a pretty nice amount of damage. Not something that's absurd, but it's decent. Then we got Far Strider or Post Haste. Post Haste works very similar to that it used to, but with Disengage. You know, back in the past, you used to disengage and then you would run for 60%. Survival Hunters don't get Disengage. Super bummed. But we do get this Harpoon, which is similar to Disengage, but obviously we use it. It's like a charge. It's Hunter's Charge. That's what it is. It has a 20-second cooldown, and Post Haste basically gives you a 60% chance movement, or 60% movement speed increase. So let's call my pet back here. And then also there's Far Strider, which is one that I've been sort of working on a little bit more, and this might be a better move because, especially if you're stacking crit, because it will reset the remaining cooldown of your Harpoon. It has a 10% chance on critical strikes. So if you're critting a lot, then you might get a chance to get your Harpoon on a faster cooldown. I'm not too sure. These are kind of what I'm playing around with. Improved Traps reduces the cooldown of Freezing Trap by 10% and the cooldown of Explosive Trap and Tower Trap by 50%. I think this is a must, given that Explosive Trap is your primary damage abilities. Reducing that cooldown by 50% is massive. Ranger's Net. This replaces your Wing Clip, so you can just annoy the hell out of people in BGs by just putting down a net, just constantly putting it down until diminishing returns. It's kind of funny here. That's kind of what it looks like. And you can just spam it. Just keep putting down nets on people. Well, obviously diminishing returns, but it's pretty funny. You could throw a lot of nets down on people and piss them off. Here's another one that's a bit of a toss-up. You have Dragonfire Grenade that hurls a Dragonfire Grenade, inflicts damage over 8 seconds, but also reduces movement speed. So here we go. Throw a grenade at the target. Kind of cool. I've been messing around with this one, and then also Serpent Sting. I can't decide which one that I prefer. I might actually prefer Serpent Sting. Every single time you hit somebody with a Raptor Strike or a Carve, it applies Serpent Sting. This is great for AoE because you have this kind of this swing, this Carve ability that affects everybody in your radius here, and you would apply a sting to every single target. So that's kind of nice. And the last one is Trapping Expert, and this gives you small bonuses to different traps. Increases explosive traps damaged to a triggering enemy by 75%. Like it's kind of like it's improved traps and expert trapper is almost a must just because of how important your explosive trap is for your damage rotation. what else do we have here? We got like Lacerate. I've already kind of covered that. It's your damage over time bleed. So the typical rotation that you would be doing is setting down your explosive trap, keeping Lacerate on, popping those mongoose bites, doing your flanking strike, and then filling it up with your raptor. So, and then, you know, if you got the grenade, tossing the grenade, keeping that Lacerate on, kind of rinse and repeat. It's not that bad. I get about on this gear set, which is pretty bad. I'm not completely 710 out. You know, I can get anywhere between 30 and 35,000 DPS. Not great, definitely not great, but it's pretty much on par with the other classes. So obviously the other class I've been messing around with has been Marksman. And this is kind of the craziest one. There's so much reduction here, and what kind of abilities you have. This is my action bar right here. You see this? Especially if you have Lone Wolf. If you have Lone Wolf talent, which I do, you have even less options. But you know, it's all about stacking this thing called vulnerability. So vulnerability here. Let me see if it's not actually going to show it. So vulnerability, damage taken from mark shot and aim shot increased by 150%. It stacks, I believe. Actually, no, it doesn't stack. Sorry. So you apply this debuff with what I have is Sidewinder, yeah, that's basically it. Applies vulnerability. Keep the vulnerability stack on your target. Spam those aim shots, and you also get. There we go. No, sorry, it's lock and load. So. Lock and load is actually what used to be survival, but it's now a marksman thing. Aim shot costs no focus, and it's an instant cast. So for the most part, I mean, survival has been the most fun that I've been enjoying it a lot, just because it's really different. But the most damage, the most sustained damage I've been able to have has been with. Now BM has the highest burst out of all the classes. So I was getting about 55k DPS with Beastmaster. These are not proper numbers because I'm obviously explaining, but with Stampede, Beastmaster, and a whole lot of different buffs, I was getting around 55k DPS. Beastmaster is always one of those that like I used to really like, but ever since Mists of Pandaria, I've sort of stuck away from it. But it's still alright, you know? It's probably one of the better options for leveling, just because you can get your pet to soak up a lot of damage and you know, gather up a lot of mobs, and you do actually a pretty absurd amount of damage. You also get some nice focus regeneration with Aspect of the Wild, and critical strike increases. So it's not a bad spec, man. I do like it, but probably what I'll be doing right now. Yeah, there we go. It's around 50 DPS. I'm kind of nonchalantly explaining what I'm doing here, but I'll probably be sticking with survival for the most part. So obviously another couple things I've been doing as a given for Legion is, you know, clearing out your bank, your inventory, your quest logs, making sure that all that stuff is nice and ready to go, so you have all your bag space for collecting all your materials. And I've been also making sure that I've been checking out some professions. I will be sticking with herbalism and inscription for this expansion. It's probably been my go-to since Wrath of the Lich King, ever since inscription has been introduced. Since that glyphs have basically, they're like not even there, you like used anymore. That's kind of changing the dynamic of inscription, but instead you're going to be doing these interesting like raid buffs for different bosses and stuff like that, player buffs, which are going to be kind of interesting. I still don't know exactly how inscription is going to be playing out in the future, and obviously you have your Dark Moon cards, which are always great money at the beginning of an expansion. I'm going to be playing that by ear, seeing how that goes. But for the most part, I've been checking out a couple of my other classes as well, like my Shaman, and I've also been leveling up my my Monk. My Monk is now level 100. I've been leveling up with that with Shelby, and we just hit 100 today on both those classes. But in all, I'm going to be focusing 100% of my time, at least for the first couple weeks, on this Hunter. So definitely let me know what you guys think of the Hunter class in the comment section below, and also what kind of stuff you guys would like to see from me. I'm going to be uploading some of my progress, some leveling from 1 to 110, some fun moments, some live commentary, also doing some battlegrounds and some dungeons and raids, and acquiring gear, and just my overall experience from time to time. I'll be uploading that every now and again on my YouTube channel. And on my Twitch scheduling, how it's going to work is in the morning, I'm going to be doing DayZ for about 4 hours, and in the afternoon, I'm going to be doing World of Warcraft for a couple hours. So if you guys want to stick around and watch some World of Warcraft live streams, you can catch that in the afternoon all week. But today, I'm going to be streaming Warcraft all day on the channel, so definitely go over there, check it out. And I'm really interested to see how the Hunter class develops in Legion once we hit 110, once we get the legendary weapon and the PvP abilities. Definitely going to be interested to see if that actually helps out the class, because in terms of overall damage, stacking up to all the other classes in the game for pre-launch, for pre-Legion, as of 7.0.3, I think Hunter is the least amount of damage out of all the damage specs in the game. So I would like to see that get a little better, because this is a great idea, but in my opinion, could be a little bit better. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys during the live stream. Have a great day and enjoy World of Warcraft Legion.